A very good morning and welcome to Premier League Live. I was wondering what that noise was in the corner, but it is the Manchester Derby live here on Premier League Live with me, Caoimhan Ferris, this Saturday afternoon to kick off match day 22 in the Premier League. And what a way to get your weekend started. One of the biggest derbies in the land, and it is certainly one to really take some intrigue off today. A Manchester United side coming into this game, Michael Carrick in charge until the end of the season, it seems, and a lot of intrigue and a lot of talk this week about what it's going to look like under Michael Carrick between now and the end of May. And a Manchester City side who are still chasing for the title and 6 points behind the league leaders. Can they cut that gap ahead of Arsenal's game later this evening away at Nottingham Forest? Elsewhere on the Premier League weekend, 3 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon. Chelsea host Brentford in a London derby. It's Fulham's trip to Leeds. Liverpool host Burnley. Sunderland face Crystal Palace, and Spurs take on West Ham. At 5:30, as I said, the league leaders Arsenal look to react to whatever happens in the Manchester derby today as they head to Nottingham Forest, a struggling Nottingham Forest. We'll see how they fare later on this evening. And then tomorrow, a double-header for you as Wolves, who are rock bottom of the Premier League, but shown more promise in their results as of recent. They take on a Newcastle United side who are topsy-turvy and inconsistent at best, and did falter to defeat in that League Cup semi-final first leg to Manchester City during the week. We'll see how they react. And then in the later game at 4:30, it's Aston Villa taking on Everton at Villa Park. An Aston Villa side in the top four, chasing Champions League football once again, and they take on an Everton side who are in themselves an inconsistent force at the moment. And it rounds off the weekend as Brighton take on Bournemouth in a battle of the South Coast to round off match day 22. Lots of intrigue in the Premier League, but it is no bigger and no better to start your weekend than a Manchester derby at Old Trafford. One of the most historic games, and one we look forward to watching every season, because you never know what's going to happen in a Manchester derby. One of them might be the outsorted favourite. They might be incredible favourites, one of these two teams, and the other could come in shock. Manchester City more recently over the last number of years have been the favourites, the top team in Manchester, winning league titles and winning trophies. Manchester United have always got their number for Manchester City and always find a way to get at least something out of them if they can. But they didn't this season so far, and we'll see if they can change that at home under a renewed feeling at Old Trafford of maybe a new regime, a new era, and a new chance. Albeit we've seen this story many times before, but maybe this is the chapter that it does turn the page of Manchester United's more recent failures rather than successes. In our game of the week, the Manchester derby, Man United sit 7th in the Premier League table, so not an awful position. They're only 3 points off the top four. However, they've drawn each of their last 3 league games. For Manchester City, they sit second. They're 6 points off the league leaders Arsenal. However, they have also drawn their last 3 league games. Man City, of course, won the reverse fixture at the Etihad in September. 3-0 victory for City. Phil Foden scoring and Erling Haaland on the double made it 3-0 on that day. And of course, it's Michael Carrick's first game in charge of Manchester United today, as he will be the boss to take them to the end of the season, is what Man United are calling it. They're not calling it an interim, and he's coming in a head coaching role. We will see how that turns out. It is Manchester United and Manchester City in the Manchester derby to kick off match day 22 in the Premier League. And we have kick-off very shortly. But let's get you the team news first. Let's start with Manchester United, and let's see how Michael Carrick starts with his first team. Sene Lammens continues in goal, a back four of Diogo Dalot. Harry Maguire returns to the side alongside Lisandro Martinez in defence and Luke Shaw at left back. Into midfield comes Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo in the middle. Bruno Fernandes further forward in the 10. Patrick Dorgu, we believe, will play off the left of a attacking line, but could drop in if needed, and with Ahmad on the opposite side and Brian Mbeumo leading the Man United line. On the bench by Indir, Heaven, Malacia, Yoro, Mount, Ugarte, Fletcher, Cunha and Šeško. For Manchester City, Gianluigi Donnarumma, after a rest from the FA Cup and the League Cup, he's back in the side in the Premier League. He starts in goal. A back four of Rico Lewis, who comes into the side for his first league start this season. He's at right back, alongside Abdulkadir Kushanov, alongside Max Alain, who returned from loan for the 2 cup games as of recent for Manchester City, and their 1-1 draw with Brighton. He starts again for the 4th successive time. And Nathan Ake is at left back. Rodri returns to the side in midfield. Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden further forward. Antoine Semenyo, who scored in each of his first 2 games for Manchester City after joining just last week, he starts on the right-hand side. Jeremy Doku off the left. And Erling Haaland, without a goal in 6 league games now, is equaling his longest run. Can he end that in the Theatre of Dreams here this afternoon, as he has done in 8 previous times, find the net in the Manchester derby? On the bench, Trafford, Bettinelli, Mafuni, O'Reilly, Mukasa, Reinders, Cherki, Aitnouri and Makedu. It is the Manchester derby. Country roads might take them home, but they're hoping Michael Carrick can deliver Champions League football for Manchester United. For Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, they're back and fighting for the title. And there's no bigger statement to make than winning at Old Trafford. Arsenal have already done it this season, albeit all the way back in August. But maybe City have to match that to really test the Gunners up front. It is United against City. Which will have the spoils come the end of the 90 minutes? Kick-off is next. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Premier League Live for this Manchester derby at Old Trafford. United v City. Already City have stolen 3 points off their local rivals this season. They want to do the double. And they want to certainly put pressure on the Gunners up front at the top of the table, if they can. And if there's one team that can do it, it is Manchester City, who look renewed, who look like a team that really should be fighting for the title, and a team that really showing the qualities of a title-winning team. This is one of the tough tasks in a Premier League schedule that you have to overcome, as Jeremy Doku there tried to break down the left, and Casemiro was brought down in the process, wins a free kick. I think it's about, for Manchester United, it's not about dominating this game. In recent years, it really never has been about dominating this game when they haven't been on at the top. It's about surviving in moments and taking your chances when they come, because they will come. The chances do come in any derby, no matter the disparity between the two clubs, whether it be kind of top v bottom or whatever the situation might be. There is always chances, and I think for Man United, survive early in the game. Don't give City cheap opportunities. Don't give them too much to breathe upon and to kind of use to their advantage to gain momentum, and then take your chances when they come. And I think Michael Carrick will know all too well what it takes to win these type of games, and it is more than just going out and playing good football. You need all different aspects to find a way to win a Manchester derby. And Nathan Ake with a sloppy touch there, right at the left touchline. It's going to get United a throw-in down the right here. A little bit of a nervy start from City. You could sense that there with Nathan Ake. And then the early free kick that was given away. Luke Shaw trying to go forward. Nicely taken in by Fernandez. Beautiful line-breaking pass. They laid it out wide. Dorgu across. And that's hooked behind for a corner off Abdulkadir Kushanov. And a corner to Manchester United. Again, great play down that left-hand side. And it's Luke Shaw just firing a ball into Bruno Fernandes in a natural position for Fernandes. Picks it up nicely, lays it out wide to Dorgu. Dorgu gets the cross in. and it's well defended and put behind by Caoimhan for the corner. But positive start for the home team, and Fernandez to take the first corner of the game. Right-footed delivery, deep to the back post, and it's off the crossbar by Harry Maguire. Head and hands moment for Harry Maguire, who could have had a perfect start for Manchester United here. He breaks at the back post, gets his header towards goal, and it crashes off the crossbar. He's done that hundreds of times, and I'm sure in the majority of them that just drops into the net. On that one, it's been denied by the woodwork. Great opportunity, great moment, and he just couldn't convert. Harry Maguire, he knows it, he felt it. Man United not giving City an easy start here, and that was perfect. Almost a perfect start to this game for the home team. Scoring inside 4 minutes would have been a real statement to Manchester City, as Watchalong there put in a difficult position. Angles were closed down, couldn't find Nathan Ake, throw into Manchester United. Well, Watchalong, of course, who's done a very good job coming in, you know, a championship loanee, doing okay with Watford in the championship, but coming back and having to play in this Manchester City defence in a title race is quite the pressure, and he's passed the test with flying colours in the last 3 games. I gotta say, he's done really, really well, Watchalong. But this is a completely different test. A completely different test. That's nicely won back by United as Dalot made the inside run forward. Just couldn't get his foot to the ball, and Ahmad battling to win it back. In the end, bundles over Jeremy Doku, and a free kick to Manchester City. Now, Ahmad, of course, back in the side after the Ivory Coast were knocked out of the African Cup of Nations. Oh, giving it away at the back. Really cheap, and Donnarumma has to slide to clear it, but my goodness me. Manchester City are all over the place at the minute. They look really nervous. Here's Bernardo Silva trying to release that pressure a little bit. Out to the right hand side for Semenyo. Chops onto his right foot, back onto his left as he gets into the area. That's sent flying by Kobbie Mainoo. Out for the throw. All the storylines of this game, Antoine Semenyo. A funny stat before the game, it's been 70 years since a Manchester City player scored in their first 3 games for the club. Semenyo finds the net today. He will be the first player in 7 decades to have completed that feat for City. See this again here. I mean, Watchalong just gets his angles all wrong. He just tries to play it back to his goalkeeper, completely underhits it. It's all wrong defensively, and again, it doesn't really help that there was no one else there. He was kind of isolated on his own. I think that's what Man United will try and do today, isolate the inexperienced defender. And they've really taken it to City here. Here's Dalot. Down the right-hand side comes Ahmad. Ahmad with the ball across. It's definitely poked away. Shot from the edge of the area is right down the throat of Donnarumma by Mainoo. But this crowd inside Old Trafford are loving their team's start. 6.5 minutes, and it's been electric for Manchester United. Electric start to this game. They look really open, City, and vulnerable. It's almost like Man United are kind of poking the wound in a way. A wounded animal, and Man United are just shoving their thumb into the wound, making it more difficult for them. Just not letting them up. As Rico Lewis wins a throw in down the right hand side here for City. I just think they just need to get some possession, settle a little bit, Manchester City. Albeit they've had more of the ball so far, but keeping it in calm positions. They're not able to stay in possession of the ball for long periods and just take the sting out of it. And I think they need to do that right now because they're under the cosh massively. Kushanov, a little bit of a sloppy pass. Ball in behind, a little bit ahead of him. Burmo. Donnarumma quick to it again. And another moment where Manchester City almost gift United a chance. And they get bailed out by their goalkeeper. But they look really sloppy so far, Manchester City. Here's Rodri. Pings a pass out to Semenyo. Takes the touch inside. Lays it off to Foden. Foden trying to poke it through. Well blocked, but it finds its way back. Rodri. Foden. Ayake. And the left to Doku. Up against Ahmad, who's dropped in. Doku leaves him for dead, and as he tries the cross, blocked by Ahmad, behind for the corner. A little bit better from City, that. And Jeremy Doku will take this corner. Let's see who he can find in the middle. Jeremy Doku goes low, and that's a horrid corner. As that's a thump ball forward towards the run of him. Burmo just bounced away. And Donnarumma will have it gladly in his own area. I'm sure for him. That corner was strangely terrible. It just goes to show that how rattled Manchester City have been in the first 9.5 minutes of this game. And really haven't been able to get any rhythm, any great quality on the ball so far. Really sloppy passes, some sloppy moments, giving the ball away cheaply. So on Manchester City, like in these early moments. It's credit to Man United that they've applied this pressure early doors. Remember, it's not done and dusted. Doesn't mean you're going to win the game. Long way to go as Doku battling with Dalot. Dalot gave him nothing, although referee's going to pull it back for a foul on Doku, he believes, by Diogo Dalot. And it's going to be a yellow card for the Man United fullback. See it again. Oh, it's a poor challenge. It really is. I didn't see it from that angle, but we see it again. It was right up to the knee of Doku and just kind of skids off his knee with his studs. That is really dangerous. And he's lucky that that's only a yellow. It is a yellow card and nothing more, but it is a close one. Any more malicious, any more kind of harsher contact, and that would have been a different colour of card. Yellow it is, though. And a free kick for Manchester City. I'm sure, in the grand scheme of things, Diogo Dalot would be very happy that just a yellow's been given there, because it very easily could have been a red. It's a really late, poor challenge. You can't really quite see it from the behind, the side of the pitch type of angle. But when you see it from the reverse side, it is as clear as day that the contact is really high. And Anthony Taylor got it right. Yellow card it was. Foden's ball in. Again, a little bit dragged by Foden. And the offside flag, I think, was up anyway. Free kick to Manchester United. But I think City look like they're snatching at things early doors here and scrambling to find any bit of quality. They just need to settle a little bit, regarner their composure, because they've really looked rattled. Here's Harry Maguire, laid out to Dalot. Dalot, nice play down the line to Fernandes, laid off by Ahmad, but given away by Ahmad. Towards Casemiro, here's Haaland. Haaland rolls it through, and surrounding United players. Haaland's got it back again, though. And he's well shielded. And Semenyo are on that one out of play. Goal kick. They recovered well from that, United, after what was a dangerous moment. Again, Ahmad just tries to play it back to Casemiro. I mean, Ahmad's complaining, but the ball is poor. Back to Casemiro. It's a poor ball. It's a dangerous ball. You just don't need to play. Haaland intercepts. Haaland works into the area, surrounded by a number of United players. Then he gets it back, and in the end tries to feed Semenyo, who couldn't keep the ball in play. But that was dangerous from United. That's a nice ball by Maguire. Picked up well by Mbeumo. And that's lovely football. As Dalot is offside. Didn't hold his run. And he knows it. Again, really good build-up play by United. Right up until the last second there. But again, good ball by Maguire into the space. Mbeumo dropping back to help out the midfield to carry the ball. And distribute wide. And on that occasion, Dalot just couldn't hold his run. But a nice start from Manchester United. And there's three of the most popular men inside Old Trafford. Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. Some would call them the Three Stooges. Others would call them the Three Wise Men. I don't know what line of sight you would be on, but let's leave it to opinion. I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest. Ball down the right-hand side here from City. Here's Antoine Semenyo up against Shaw. Semenyo chops onto his left, lifts it into the area, and the header by Bernardo Silva is zipped over the crossbar, but that was better for Manchester City. Good play by Semenyo. Knew he wasn't right to take on Shaw. He was outnumbered, really didn't have the option out the wide area. As he steps back inside, the space opens up. He just lifts that ball towards the area. And the run of Bernardo Silva met it with his head. He just couldn't keep the header down. Unlucky for Bernardo Silva. But a little bit better from Manchester City. Dorgu, Mainu back to Shaw. Shaw lifting it over the top. The run of Mbeumo down the left-hand side is well blocked and stopped by Kushanov. The crowd happy to see their team really fighting for this one early doors here, United, and so far so good for the home team. 15 minutes gone, and albeit City have had a little bit more pressure in the last few minutes, but a start that's much needed for Manchester United. Rattle City a little bit, make them nervous, make them have to come up with answers, ask them questions early doors. Long throw into the box it comes, headed away by Rodri pretty comfortably as Lisandro Martinez goes back to his goalkeeper. Sene Laman's looking for the right pass, and out to that left channel. It's blocked by Bernardo Silva. Taken in by Caoimhan, who tries to roll it through for Dorgu. A little bit of a deflection. Takes it away from him as Dorgu does well. Fantastic to recover. Trying to spin into the area. Wanted a foul, not going to get one. As referee Anthony Taylor wags his little finger and says no foul. Although frustration here is going to see Luke Shaw given a booking and a free kick to Manchester City. Alessandro Martinez is there too. It's really proper derby atmosphere, all boiling over. And referee Anthony Taylor hasn't made himself a popular man. You can see it again here. Dorgu does unbelievably somehow against Kushanov. Quite fantastically, just being held. I think it's just momentum that takes Dorgu down. I don't think that's a foul. And then as City win it back, just a late challenge by Luke Shaw. Just the frustration right in on Rodri. It's a cynical one, really. And Luke Shaw in the book for that one. Well, that is both Man United fullbacks now on a yellow, which is a concern, I'm sure, for Michael Carrick, that 17 minutes are gone and both Shaw and Diogo Dalot are on a yellow card. Certainly showing the Derby Day passion, though, those two. In very different ways. Maguire. Header into midfield. Nicely taken in by Mainu. And Dorgu. Now Ahmad. Works it back to Dallo. That's what I've been impressed with so far from United, is their ball recovery. The fact that they're just taking the ball down, settling with it, not having to force themselves forward every time they have the ball. Being more delicate with it. Here comes Dallo though, charging forward, and he got too excited. Ahmad wasn't going to get the ball, and that's frustrated him. Yeah, again, they're showing really good signs here, United. Just that final ball, it's just letting them down again. It's good midfield play. It's a great switch ball by, I think that was Mainu. It was. And Mainu just lays it into Dallo. Dallo comes on the inside, and as he just tries to find Ahmad out wide, he overhits it completely. And the frustration on Ahmad's face, rightfully so on that occasion, because that was a really good opportunity again. And I have to say, they've done that a few times, United. Got Dallo in that inside role, and he's got a wide option. Something said he need to figure out a way to stop, because it's looking dangerous, and they get the right pass there, Man United. They really could be in trouble, City. Ahmad on the chase. Unsettled the City back four, but it's found its way to Kushanov, and now he's trying to exploit the space left by Ahmad and finding Doku. Boos from the home crowd as Doku was on the ball. Here's Ake. Doku again. Not much space to manoeuvre into there for City. He's making it all 11 behind the ball. Ten, but you know what I mean. Here's Ake. Breaking into a little gap that's appeared in the inside run, and he tried to poke it forward. Harry Maguire has it covered, and Bernardo Silva gets wrestled out of the pitch by the City man. Good defended by Maguire. Anthony Taylor, shake of the head, saying, "Get on with it." Well, this is as well how you know a team's under pressure. This is how you know that they're under the cosh a little bit and struggling and hanging on in there a little bit. It's when they're appealing to the referee for little things. His offside flag was up there against Ahmad as he tried to receive that ball. They're appealing for little things, City. They're not comfortable. Means they're appealing to the referee for any little thing to give them a little advantage, to give them a little boost. And right now, it's just they need to work their way through it. As it has been a tough slog for the last 20 minutes for Manchester City. It is level play, but excuse me, apologies. They don't look comfortable at all. Again, dispossessed in the midfield. Here's Ahmad breaking down the right-hand side. Lays it to Fernandez. Ping ball into the area. Dorgu takes it down. Good save by Donnarumma. Big save by the City goalkeeper. Needed to be made. Great connection by Dorgu. And now here comes Doku down the other side. Doku. Again, no options. Well covered over by Dallo. And now Ake. Across to Rodri. A little bit too slow at City from City at the minute. Rodri out wide. It goes to Rico Lewis. Back inside to Rodri. Kushanov with a heavy touch, which United fans respond with a jeer. Ake. Doku. Chops onto his right foot inside and overhit the ball. Goal kick it is. See this again. It's given away in the midfield. Casemiro tackling Foden in the middle. Ahmad takes it down the right hand side, lays it out wide to Fernandez. Beautiful clip ball into the area, right at the back post. And Dorgu takes it down. Beautiful first touch, sets him up. Left footed strike on the volley. Well saved by Donnarumma, but Really good for Manchester United there. Good, confident header there by Diogo Dalot. And Mbeumo down the left channel it comes. Dorgu has the pace to keep it in play. Dorgu cuts it back to Shaw. Shaw lifts it into the area. And too close to Donnarumma. Fernandes was there, but Donnarumma got there first. They're creating chances, United. They look fluid. They look really inspired by this early start. And they look ready. Ready to take it to City, and they have taken it to Manchester City so far. Not the type of game I was expecting early doors here, but what did I say at the very start? You never know what to expect in a Manchester derby. One team might be the overwhelming favourites coming into it, but it doesn't always guarantee they will find victory. Or certainly not find comfort in this game, because City have been far from comfortable in the first 23.5 minutes here at Old Trafford. However, though, they will be pleased that they haven't paid the price for that just yet, and that it is still 0-0. Semenyo. Inside to Lewis. Foden dribbling away to keep the ball in the midfield, but they look isolated in there. City midfielders. United having a good shield. Well, that's a nice play, though. Finding Bernardo Silva. Good challenge by Casemiro. Falls out wide, though, to Semenyo. In it comes. Bernardo Silva switches it out to the left for Doku. Doku takes on a man, and Dalot gets to the byline, and Dalot with a good challenge. Puts it behind for the corner. It's really good play. Really good defending again from Manchester United. Diogo Dalot with a strong, aggressive moment. Made the good challenge to put it behind for the Manchester City corner. Foden will take on this left-hand side. And for the ball again, it's low, it's cleared away. It's, again, not the best delivery from City again. The earlier corner from Doku didn't even get into the air, and that one didn't get far into the air by Foden. Two poor deliveries from those corners. As Meza said, I need Fernandes to pass that ball a little more. I gotta say, United have started well. Fernandes looking to link up those attacking moments, and he almost created a unbelievable opportunity for Patrick Dorgu at the back post. Could have easily been a goal. And listen, anything good that Man United will do today, I'm sure that it will come through Bruno Fernandes. Here's Rico Lewis breaking forward for City, and as he tries to cut it back into the box, nicely dealt with and cleared away by Dorgu. And he wins a throw-in off Kushanov. Because for my sports bet, not the game I do want City to win. So far, Erling Haaland just 4 touches, the fewest of any player in the game so far. But again, we've talked before about Erling Haaland. It doesn't matter how many touches he has. It's what he does with those touches. And here they are on the breakaway here, City. A little bit of a bounce of the ball. Finding Doku. Edge of the area. Doku doubled up on. Well defended by Martinez and Dalot. Oh, the Dalot clearance picked up by Ake. City starting to get a bit of momentum into the final third here. Foden. Now Semenyo breaks down the right. Tried to cut it back. Was blocked. Strongly defended there by Shaw. And Dorgu caught by Lewis. Free kick to Man United. Well, Man United lost, of course, the reverse fixture to City 3-0 in September. They last failed to score in both league meetings with the Citizens in the 73-74 season, a campaign that saw Man United relegated from the top flight. See the likelihood of finding the net so far, and they really could have been in front. United. Here comes City though. Haaland couldn't get any more than just a single touch there. Fernandes waits for the right opportunity. Ahmad down the right hand side is the option. Up against Ake, chops back inside, trying to dribble his way through him. Ahmad waits for the run, gets the area, and boom! Did get his head to it, but didn't do much more past that. Donnarumma was able to comfortably gather, but again, good move by United. And I think, I'm not saying we underestimate Bruno Fernandes, but in that moment, it just categorises the best players don't just play the pass, they wait for the right moment to play the pass. And I think any other midfielder for Man United there, that Bruno Fernandes ball to Ahmad, they would have played it first time. They would have overhit it, or they would have played it well in front of him that he wouldn't be able to reach it. But Fernandes waited for him to get far enough up the pitch, held it a little second to whip the ball perfectly, to get him into space, to get him an opportunity to run in behind. And that was a really, really well-timed pass. Perfect ball again from Fernandes, but just that little second that he waited on the ball just timed it to perfection. And that's as well, kind of, you have to do that. The best players, as I say, do that. They just don't just play that pass. They time it so that it makes it as threatening and as kind of as promising in an attacking area as possible, and Bruno Fernandes certainly did that on that occasion. Just short of 30 minutes gone, still goalless here at Old Trafford, but it is United that seem to be on top at the minute. They're the more physical, the more aggressive. Manchester City at times have looked really naive. Here comes Ahmad down the right hand side again. Ake wanted offside. Ahmad breaking inside. Ahmad! Well stopped by the recovering Doku, but again, no way out for City. Well won back again by Kobbie Mainoo. Casemiro now. Out wide to the left is Dorgu, who was well challenged by Lewis. City come back in field. Nice to find the space for Doku. Really open game at the minute. End-to-end stuff. Doku down the left-hand side. Comes Bernardo Silva. Back inside to Doku. Chops away from his man. Doku with a little bit of space. Wanted to shoot. Well closed down by Mainoo. Casemiro fell to his feet there, or fell from his feet and looked to be really open for Doku. So Rodri pings it wide, and Bernardo Silva's ball is not the best of deliveries, and behind for a goal kick. Well, only one manager in history has ever won more games away from home at Old Trafford than Pep Guardiola, which was Brian Clough. 8 wins in 24 matches. Pep Guardiola has 7 wins at Old Trafford as an away manager in 14 matches in all competitions. Incredible. Incredible. He wins this afternoon. He will equal Brian Clough's record with 9 less games played. Quite incredible. And that would be an over 50% win rate at Old Trafford if he was to win this afternoon, which is another crazy stat. But so far his team are struggling, and that's a nice ball out wide. Dorgu running in behind Kushanov. He is waiting for options, waiting for a little bit of help. As he recycles it out to the left. Casemiro back inside, finds Fernandes. Fernandes trying to roll it through, and Bomo blocked off there by 2 City defenders. Wanted a foul, not going to get one. Oh, it's a sloppy giveaway though. Fernandes, and Bomo was offside. And it's picked up by Donnarumma. Well, Bruno Fernandes, I think, probably should have went himself there, because Mbeumo was offside. He's tying his shoelaces. Oh no, he's on. He was onside. Just about. How he got himself back onside, I'll never know, but another big mistake by City, not pounced upon by United. And there will come a point in this game where it will be said they had ample opportunity to take the lead and they couldn't take it, and maybe they'll pay the price for it. That's beautiful from Mbeumo. Fernandes Now Ahmad. Flag stays down, rounds the goalkeeper. Ahmad finds the net, but the flag's up. Flag's up for offside. It just looked like it. Just looked too easy. We'll see how far he is if he is offside. We'll see it again, but I think he might just have strayed off here. Yeah, he's just about a half-yard offside. Nathan Ake, the last man for City, stretching his leg, but I think Ahmad's just a little half-yard ahead of him. It's beautiful from Ahmad after that, but he just didn't hold his run enough. And of course, VAR will check it, of course, 100% check it, but from when the naked eye look there, from the cut of the grass of the pitch, it looked like Ahmad was just offside. And they are checking it. Anthony Taylor informing the players that it is being checked. As is every goal that is either given or disallowed in the Premier League. And the VAR, Craig Pawson, alongside Adrian Holmes, are making sure that the right decision is gotten to here. And the decision is no goal offside. So a correct decision on the field, and we'll see the official confirmation. It was just about a half-yard offside. Not too far, but just off. Again, they're really applying such pressure to City. They're really lucky, Manchester City, that they aren't behind, because they very well easily could be. I mean, I'll show you the stats. We can show you the stats of this game. It's not completely in Man United's favour, but you can see on that left side of your screen, there's more red than there is black there on that left-hand side. And that means that Man United are having more chances. They're creating more opportunities. They've had the only 2 shots on target in this game, United, albeit with only 30% possession according to the stats, which is quite remarkable. But they are threatening. And City are really struggling at the minute to fend off that threat that has been imposed by United so early doors here. And again, with 10 minutes to go in the first half, they are still 0-0. Which, as I said, they will take as a positive. Meza says that's exactly why I got his passes on the over. Because he knows how to pass. I'm assuming they're being more aggressive trying to score. Then hopefully they play a little more passive. Yeah, maybe a little later in the game. If they do take the lead. Oh, Sene Lammens there. Didn't need to dive for that one. It was going wide. He wanted to make sure, but it's giving away a cheap corner there. It's going a good yard or 2 wide, this, from Doku, but he sees it going wide and then he decides to poke his hand out. A little bit of a strange decision from the United goalkeeper there. Corner it is to City, though. They pay the price from this. This will really be a body blow. Foden to take the corner. Left-footed delivery. Ake at the back post. Heads it back across. The header! Oh, saved by Sene Lammens. And cleared away. Well, they almost paid the price for that. But Sene Lammens comes up trumps. Makes the big save to deny them. Have to see it again, but my goodness me, that was a dangerous moment. Again, this game's waiting for the right moment to find that opening goal. Which one of the 2 teams will get it is still up in the air, but whoever gets that first goal, they will be more than relieved. Because of how this game has gone in this first half. Bernardo Silva finding Doku. Doku back inside to Ake. A little bit of space. Ake's whip ball. Away by Martinez. Shielded by Casemiro, but flipped into the area by City again. Bouncing around as it falls to Semenyo. Lays it back now to Kushanov. Rodri. Rodri back to Kushanov. Down the right-hand side it comes to Semenyo. Up against Dorgu. Has to go back inside to find Rodri to open the space a little bit. Now Foden trying to roll it through. Blocked, but he gets the bounce of the ball back here, Foden. Nice Semenyo. Again, not really penetrating too much here, City, as Rodri's ball is well headed away by Maguire and picked up by Mbeumo. As they tried to go for the 1-2 there, Mbeumo and Fernandes. Rodri should have that one covered. And does. Doku. I have to say, it's been a very entertaining first 38 minutes of this Manchester derby. Albeit 0-0, but lots of big moments, lots of big goal-mouth action, and really, in high we're still 0-0 is as good a guess as any, really, because who knows? Rodri. City pinging the ball around here. Okay. A little bit of space opens up. Okay. Ball drops a little bit fortuitously to Fernando Rico Lewis. Now Rodri. Semenyo hits it wide. Albeit though, a couple of minutes. City have dominated the possession all the way through the first half, but it's about if they become threatening, if they become dangerous with that possession, that Man United need to worry. We see that opportunity here. Ball headed back across by Ake, and then it's Elaine, I think, that has the connection. And it's Dalot and Sene Lammens that both go for it. I think it might be the goalkeeper that gets some contact to it, as well as Dalot, and in the end deny them. But again, remember, that was a cheap corner that Sene Lammens gave away. Could have paid the price for it, albeit they didn't, but a very avoidable moment for United though. A reminder to you though that this is a game where the first goal always doesn't, very rarely ever tells you which way it's going to go. You've seen many a team in this derby find a way back from deficits. Albeit the first goal. Oh, that's a ball in behind. Fernandes, has he beaten the offside trap? Fernandes rounds the goalkeeper, cuts it back, finds the empty net, and the flag stays down this time. And Bruno Fernandes, it's gone up. Flag's gone up again. Well, he took 20 seconds that time, the linesman. I mean, they were off celebrating, and he's put the flag up. He's put the flag up. Yeah, he's a good yard offside. Yeah. I mean, why did he take so long to put the flag up? Beautiful ball. Took his time, though. Then he walks back. Doesn't put the flag up right away. And then waits. It's like he's taunting them. Teasing Bruno Fernandes. Oh, you think you've scored? Here comes the flag. Well, they're checking it, but it looks like he's offside from what I could see. It looks like he's leaning offside, Fernandes. If he isn't, this would be some eruption inside Old Trafford, but they are checking it, and they have confirmed that it is offside, no goal. So Man United have found the net twice, both offside calls. Is it going to be third time lucky? Yeah, he's a good. I mean, he's leaning well offside there. How they needed to check that, I'll never know. It is offside, but whoa, I think I need to calm down. I was erupting there in mid-flow. And then I saw an angle of the bloody stupid linesman putting the flag up 20 seconds after the goal was scored. Bizarre. And they're all over the place here, City. If they can find the way through this game, get to half-time at 0-0, they will be delighted. Because they have been so under the cosh. And they really deserve a lead, Man United. They have played fantastically in this first half, I got to say. They just have lacked the goal. That's been the only negative. They just haven't found the net. Oh, that's beautiful from Mainu. Chops back. Look at the space now down the left-hand side for Shaw. 4 players forward for United. Shaw tries to find Mbeumo, and Mbeumo trying to acrobatically take it around the defender. It bounces back into Dorgu's path. Now Casemiro. Dalot comes inside. Drops inside. Link it up nicely. Beautiful play. Diogo Dalot couldn't get through, as he's gone down in the area. And Donnarumma clears his lines, as Martinez tried to stretch for that one. Put it out of play for a steady throw, but I'm sure this crowd will be feeling very differently right now than they probably were at the start of this game. Their team have been quite excellent, but so far they haven't been able to find the net. And that is the hanging hope that City have, that they can get right back into it and steal it away from United. But I gotta say, it's been... If you're to talk about what I've watched from Man United for months, this is completely different. Completely different. So much stronger defensively. So much more aggressive out of possession. Winning the ball back. And when they win the ball back, they're being consistent with their play. They know where they need to play the pass. They know where to play the pass. They don't look lost on the ball. They look like there's a purpose to their possession. Rodri. Foden. Kushanov. And now Alain. Back out wide to Kushanov. Down the right hand side is Semenyo. City camped in the United half here. Okay. Down the left it goes to Doku. Doku back inside. Finds Rodri. Alain. Now Rodri. Kushanov. Nice play though from City here. Again, not able to penetrate this United box at the minute. The back line holding strong, and City is passing it sideways and backwards at the minute. Just no way through. Horizontal passes from City. United will take that all day long. It's a change of an idea. Ball to Doku, and he couldn't take it in. And Dalot sees it out for the throw. 2 added minutes. Well, a reminder for you that we have a double-header of Premier League action tomorrow. We're at Molineux as bottom of the league. Wolves host Newcastle from 2 o'clock, followed by a trip to Villa Park as Aston Villa take on Everton at 4:30 tomorrow. And that ball out of play again from City down the left-hand side. Ake couldn't keep it in play. I gotta say, Michael Carrick at half-time really does need to praise his players, but also needs to tell them they need to be clinical. Take their chances. City will punish you if you don't put them to the sword when you're on top. And Man United won't always have it their own way in this game. There will be a tough spell to come. And at that point, you'd much rather be ahead than level with the threat that City have in attack if they do click. So far, they haven't. And this is what there will be the only negative of this first half, I gotta say. They've given it away. Again, City in possession. Rodri has said that it's no foul. Torgu's gone down saying it is a foul, and Anthony Taylor agrees with the red side of Manchester this time. And a yellow card going the way of Rodri for his cynical challenge on Patrick Dorgu. He's kind of dragged him. Yeah, it's definitely a yellow card. And definitely a free kick. Back in the team and into the book in this first half, Rodri. Surely the last moment of the first half as the 2 minutes come to a conclusion any second. Ball forward. And it's going to be a free kick to City as there was collision away from where the free kick was being taken or where it was going to. And there's the half-time whistle. Pretty strange end of the half that. We'll see it again here. Yeah, Maguire just collides with Haaland. It's accidental, but nonetheless, A free kick was given. There was no time to take it. And at half-time, there is nothing to separate these two teams in the Manchester derby. It's how you like it. It's tasty. It's on the edge. They've had chances, United. They've had the ball in the back of the net twice as well. City on the ropes a little bit. But at the minute, they will be happy they're still level. Half-time at Old Trafford in the Manchester derby. It's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Sure, one last kick. This is going to be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Premier League Live, half-time at Old Trafford in the Manchester derby. It is Man United 0, Manchester City 0 at the break. But that tells literally none of the story. What a first half it has been. United have had the ball in the back of the net twice. Both were offside. Ultimately, Ahmad and Bruno Fernandes, they've hit the crossbar. They've had big chances saved as well. I gotta say, this is a thrilling 0-0, and we had a 0-0 in the Manchester derby I don't know if it was last season, I think it was last season. It was one of the most dreadful games of football we've ever seen at Old Trafford. It was a 0-0 draw, and it was a horrible game, awful game. This one, the complete opposite to that, albeit 0-0, but full of opportunities, full of chances, and more on Man United's side than Man City's side at the minute. City look really vulnerable, really nervous off the ball. They've given away some sloppy passes. They've looked a little really lackluster going forward. I think we've not seen anything of Erling Haaland. Semenyo and Doku have been contained. Foden's been very quiet. Rodri hasn't been able to play the right passes through the lines. Bruno Silva hasn't really done much. I mean, it's the City defenders that have probably had the most action in the game, and that's probably because they've been trying to fend off Man United for the whole of that half. So I think Pep Guardiola will be delighted that his team aren't behind at the break, but he'll of course be furious of what they've done with the ball. I mean, they had over 70% possession in the first half, Manchester City, and couldn't really create a clear-cut chance on the United goal, really, in that first half to any real significance, if I'm honest. And it is a concern, but also you could argue that really it has to get better for Manchester City. They will figure things out. They will make some tweaks. They will adjust at half-time and try and find a way at finding a vulnerability in this Man United team, because I'm sure there are some. We just haven't seen them in the first half. They come out all guns blazing. United, they really applied so much pressure on City in the first 2 minutes. Really set the tone for the game that United were going to be aggressive. We're going to be on the front foot. We're going to test Manchester City, not allow them to have it all their own way. And I gotta say, they certainly have delivered a really strong game so far. But as I said, the only negative that United could really say they've had in that first half was the fact they didn't find the net. That is the only negative to this point. And at half-time, it is 0-0 in the Manchester derby. A reminder for you that we have another 2 Premier League games to come this weekend. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock at Molineux, as Wolves take on Newcastle. Bottom of the league, Wolves looking to continue what has been an unbeaten run as of late for them. We'll see if they can take on Newcastle United, who are a bit wounded after their League Cup semi-final defeat to Manchester City in midweek. Or will they bounce back? We'll find out. And that's followed by Aston Villa hosting Everton at 4:30 tomorrow as well. But a big second half in the Manchester derby. It's United 0, City 0. Is there a breakthrough to come? We'll find out very shortly. Second half on the way next. Welcome back to Premier League Live, and as expected, despite it being 0-0, the performance will have not appeased Pep Guardiola that his team produced in that first half, and that's why he is producing a double substitution at half-time. Ryan Cherky and Nico O'Reilly are coming on, and Phil Foden and Max Allain are coming off. So Max Allain, the centre-back alongside it, Kushanov is coming off, so I would suspect that they would have a rejig. Ake will drop in alongside Kushanov, and then O'Reilly will go to full-back, and Ryan Cherky will just be a straight swap for Phil Foden in a more attacking role. But double substitution for Pep Guardiola's team shows exactly the intent that he has, and he wants to change to the way his team were playing. And a personnel change it is at half-time. A very rare situation that Pep Guardiola makes half-time changes unless they're enforced. And on those occasions, I don't think they are enforced. Certainly not from what I've heard that they're enforced. I believe they're just tactical switches, which means, really, that he wasn't really happy at all with City in that first half. And I really wouldn't blame him. I mean, they dominated possession, but they really didn't use that possession to anywhere near their advantage. And making that change early doors just sets the tone for the second half. Dalot across, three lining up, and none of them could get there. That's the intention from Manchester United. They'll win the ball back in midfield. They've been doing it all day. And there's a beautiful little reverse ball by Ahmad, finding Dalot on the outside, who swung it across low and hard, right across the 6-yard box. What we call the corridor of danger. And Burmo, Dorgu and Fernandez all lining up for it. And none of them could get close enough to it to get the right moment, the right contact to test the City goalkeeper. But that is another example of the major threat that remains for Manchester United. And what a start to the second half it would have been if they'd found the net there. Maguire pumps it forward, headed down by O'Reilly. And Burmo dropping back in to help out to win it back. Ahmad, Casemiro. And Burmo just couldn't link it up with Mainu, who got a little bit loose, but Dalot covering over, and Martinez settling in, challenging and winning the ball back, although the referee is going to pull it back for a foul a little earlier in the move. Free kick to Manchester City. Well, Man City have won more Premier League away games against Man United than any other visiting side. Liverpool, with 41 goals, have scored more goals at Old Trafford than City in that time period of 37. 9 wins away at Old Trafford for Manchester City over the years. As Ahmad was dragged back by O'Reilly, the referee says advantage, and as Ahmad didn't have any further advantage, he's going to pull it back for a foul and give Nico O'Reilly an early yellow card into his performance. Yeah, he just kind of dragged Ahmad back, and the referee played the advantage because Ahmad got back onto the ball and in possession, but in the end O'Reilly did foul him after that. He pulled it back and gave Nico O'Reilly a booking. 2.5 minutes into coming into the game for O'Reilly, and already in the referee's book. So Fernandez to take this free kick then. All the cameras are out now, all the phones are out to capture this if it's a good one. Fernandez, fizz ball in, was towards Maguire, it drops. Taken away by Rodri, who cleared. Picked up by Fernandez again as the last man for United as he lays it out to Dorgu. Down the line to Shaw, who couldn't keep it in play. Out for a City throw. Well, one other example is, how long can Man United keep this intensity for? Is it a whole 90 minutes, or are City just riding the storm, hoping that they don't fall behind, trying to hang on in there, and then late in the game, if City or United have tired themselves out from all this aggression and high intensity football, that City can then pluck away at them? But it's an interesting game where you really don't know what way it could go. Here's Semenyo. We know what way it should go based on what we've seen so far, but again, derby games can ebb and flow, and momentum can swing from one team to the other dynamically throughout the game. So far it is Man United that have started the second half the more aggressive. And again on the front foot, but City have more of the ball. Really, a continuation of what we saw in the first half similarly. Okay, tried to poke it through right up the middle of United. He got through, but he couldn't find a teammate. And now Fernandez trying to carve through the other way, but couldn't find that ball through to Mbeumo on that occasion. Just a bit of miscommunication between those two. Here's Doku. Down that left-hand side. Doku tiptoeing towards the goal. Back it goes to O'Reilly. Now Ake. Across to Kushanov. Down the right-hand side is Semenyo. Comes back infield. Trying to work the angle, City, but again, not much penetration. Not able to threaten the United area. Semenyo. Again, backwards towards Kushanov. Rodri. Under pressure. Ake. Bernardo Silva and United are playing a really high press as City had no through ball and no out ball, and Harry Maguire's there to pick up the pieces for United. He will pump it forward, and Bomo trying to make the run in behind Ake. Ake did well, but he's given it away again though. Fernandez feeds it out to the left to Dorgu. He's got Shaw on the overlap. Goes back inside to Fernandez. Looking for the right option. Lays it back out wide to Shaw. And now back to Kobe Mainu. Across to Martinez. Inside comes Dalot. Works it back outside. Beautiful play. Finds Ahmad. Chops onto his left. Back inside to Dalot. Dalot out to the right. It goes to Mbomo, who whips a cross in. And Ahmad couldn't get connection to it. And again, rolling the dice again, United. And at the minute, City coming up with the answers. Just about. That's beautiful from Fernandez. Finds Shaw. Rolls it in behind for Dorgu, who bodies his defender. Went down. Referee said no foul as Dorgu maybe went out down under his own balance rather than anything else. Here we see it again. Beautiful little backheel by Fernandez. Finds Shaw. Gets the crowd up. Shaw plays it in behind. Dorgu wanted a foul. It's a little soft. And in the end, we come back to the game. Dorgu's brought down Rico Lewis, who won a free kick. Well, a reminder for you, City in this title race. If they draw this game, there will be a 5-point gap to the league leaders Arsenal. But remember, Arsenal, if they win later, they could extend that gap to 8 points. And Arsenal failed to take the opportunity in the last Premier League week to try and extend the gap when City dropped points to Brighton at home, and then Arsenal dropped points at home to Liverpool. Couldn't extend their gap and remained at 6 points, but as it stands, could they change that dynamic and extend the gap this weekend if City falter in the Manchester derby, as Ahmad couldn't help link it up through the middle. Again, strong challenging. Oh, a sloppy ball by Dalot. Ball in behind. Erling Haaland. Blocked by Martinez. Behind for the corner. Well, this is what United need to be careful of. Getting too comfortable. Getting too aggressive. Giving the ball away sloppily there, Dalot. Mainu couldn't recover in time. It's found its way to Haaland. Haaland then has the strike. Blocked well by Martinez. That's the threat that City can pose if you give them a little glimmer. A corner to Manchester City here on the right. Bernardo Silva will take. Bernardo Silva lofted ball into the area and into the hands of Sene Lamans. That time it was a decent delivery. It's just too close to the goalkeeper. Previous ones, they barely even got anywhere near the box from City from corners. Slowly but surely improving. This is a real test for Manchester City. It was actually when Ruben Amorim was sacked and Darren Fletcher came in as interim. And then it was announced that Michael Carrick would take the job to the end of the season. It was, look at the run of games that he's got coming up, and City at home and then you Arsenal away. 2 horror games for a new manager. But so far, Michael Carrick's team are more than holding their own. But here comes City again. Jeremy Doku. Inside it goes to Rodri. Rodri across to Lewis. Lewis chops onto his right foot. Finding Haaland. Haaland closed down Picked up again though by Cherky. Dogu under a bit of pressure. Cherky works it back the way. Bernardo Silva. Into Rico Lewis in behind, trying to find Semenyo, but well challenged by Lisandro Martinez and cleared out and away for a City throw-in. As Martinez wanted a United throw, he thought it deflected off a City player there, but not from what I could see. Just over 10 minutes to go, gone of the second half, and Man United started with a dominant first 5 minutes of the half, but City have maybe had the last few minutes in their favour. Not on that occasion as Doku gives it away. And Burmo linking up with Dallo. Dallo brought down. That's going to be a free kick on the edge, right in the halfway line, and Jeremy Doku, the one committing that foul. Retake ticking quickly. Fernandes took it in his stride, took it away from him, and he was offside anyway. Getting a little bit frustrated now, Manchester United. Things aren't falling for them, aren't clicking, aren't really dropping in the right areas for them. Just need to stay composed. Dorgu, super ball. Out to Ahmad on the opposite side. Great switch ball. Ahmad into the area. He's got options. Ahmad goes himself. Blocked. Follow up. Saved by Donnarumma. And denied was Casemiro, who cannot believe it himself. And Donnarumma has saved Manchester City again. Beautiful switch ball by Dorgu. Fantastic pass. Ahmad on the back line of the City defence. Cuts inside. The fullback wrong-footed, and Nico O'Reilly has the shot at goal. Donnarumma with a save, and then the rebound bounces into Casemiro's path. He has a shot blocked, and then comes back off Casemiro behind for the goal kick, but Donnarumma needed twice there. Big opportunity. Big opportunity. It all started with that wonderful bit of quality from Patrick Dorgu. Just worked the ball into space, and City were caught out from then on in until their goalkeeper came up with the answers. Their last line of defence. Their only line of defence at that point. And he had the answer twice against Ahmad and Casemiro. But this crowd are seeing something they haven't seen in such a long time. An inspired, energetic performance from their team. Fighting for every ball, fighting for every second ball, into every challenge with full desire and heart. And they are desperately trying to take the lead in this derby. And they have just failed to do so, but not for the want of trying. They have been desperate to do so, and just things haven't lined up for United so far in those occasions. But here comes City. Semenyo was blocked off well by Ahmad. Kobe Mainu helping out there on that left with Dorgu. Now Casemiro, who's just shoved out of play. And no foul, said the referee. He just kind of fell over there a little bit, Casemiro. My goodness, what an enjoyable game. We're only at the hour mark, but my goodness me. For a 0-0 draw, it has been gripping the whole way through. Absolutely gripping. Here's Rico Lewis on the inside run. Lays it out wide to Semenyo, but again, City outnumbered in this penalty area. Finds Bernardo Silva, does Semenyo. Back to Rodri. Again, not able to, again, threaten. Really crowded Man United penalty box. Cherky gets it off to find Doku. Doku takes it down on the left-hand side. He's got 3 shirts ahead of him in red. Cuts it back to Rodri. Across to Kushanov. Again, not much room to manoeuvre for City. Man United keeping it narrow, keeping it tight. keeping it very compact in the middle. And saying to City, go wide. Try and go wide. They're leaving the gaps out in the wide spaces for City to try and use. And right now, City unable to use them at the minute. Are having no joy through the middle whatsoever. No space at all for anybody to manoeuvre in there in City colours. And what has been a pretty good, a really good display out of possession so far from United. As the ball worked back to Martinez here. Nice shot. Short, sharp passing, but it's given away cheaply there by Mainu. Here's Haaland. Fantastic challenge by Casemiro. Really good football from United again in their own box. Harry Maguire, little jink past his man. Maguire striding forward here. Lays it out wide to Ahmad. Dalot was on the overlap. Ahmad left it for Dalot. Maguire. Now Casemiro. Finding Mainu. Popping it around nicely now, United. Switch ball. Taken in by Shaw. Shaw on the front foot. Lays it off to Dorgu. Patrick Dorgu. Has he got an option? He does. Contact in the box there off the ball. Whatever that's about, there's United player down. And Fernandez, but on we play. Shaw. Not much energy now about United there. It looked a little strange with Fernandez down. They didn't want to do much. Shaw and Mainu just kept it between them as that's a ball in behind by Martinez. Dorgu to chase. Well body checked. Great defending there by Kushanov. He just body checked his man out of the way, but Martinez aggressive wins it back off Haaland. A real mismatch height wise, but physically it was Martinez that won that tussle. Fernandez. Now Ahmad. Ahmad into the box. 4 players in there. Cuts it back for Fernandez. Whips a ball in round the back. And Mbamo! Good save by Donnarumma. Again Donnarumma to the rescue for City. As here comes Haaland on the charge. Disrupted. And he's gone down under a challenge of Maguire. And that's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. But Donnarumma, the City goalkeeper, has had more than enough hard work to do today, and every single time that United look like they're in, he's there to stop them. Again, it's that ball from Fernandez. It was similar to the one that Dorgu had early in the game this time. A little bit more room for Mbeumo. Whip ball to the back post, and big chance. Donnarumma's made some big saves in the second half. United have been in multiple times, and time again, Donnarumma has been there to deny them. Oh my goodness me. Fantastic. And I told you about that stat earlier on. The last time Man United failed to score in either game in a season against City was in the 73-74 campaign when they were relegated. Right now, Donnarumma's doing his ever best to keep City with a clean sheet here. And he is coming up with the answers fantastically at the minute. Look at the stats. 7 shots to 6 in Man United's favour. 5 on target for United. Just the 1 for City. But the dominance of possession is completely the opposite direction. Free kick here for City though. Right, 30 odd yards out. Lofted ball into the area. Away by Maguire. And now Mbeumo, beautiful little touch. And he's put United into a fortuitous position here. Fernandez on the breakaway. It's a 4-on-3. Finds Mbeumo. Mbeumo! Tucks it home. And that's going to be the goal Manchester United have been desperate for in this derby. Red shines brightest on Old Trafford pitch. And Manchester United take the lead. Bryan Mbeumo, who's come up trumps for United all season in front of goal. Well, he's come up trumps again on that occasion. No clean sheet for Donnarumma. And no blockade for Man United. They have broken that concrete wall. Thrashed by Brian Mbeumo, who caressed that ball across the box and across the goal into the far net. Fantastic from United on the breakaway. And this is what they have been so desperate for and probably so deserving of. They have been by far the better team in attack. All over City at times today. And they more than deserve this lead. Beautifully taken by Mbeumo. Donnarumma was there again, but he couldn't stop that one. And Michael Carrick, he might only be here to the end of the season. He's already a popular figure as a player. Well, he's got off to the perfect start, it seems, as a manager of Manchester United. Manchester United 1, Manchester City 0. And it is Brian Mbeumo with the fantastic finish to break the deadlock in this most gripping of Manchester derbies. Wow. Wow. What a game. And certainly, what a performance for United up to this point. Quite sensational. And they more than deserve this lead. But the game's not done and dusted yet. They will know that. That City will fight to their evermost to fight back and get back level. And more. That's what's in Pep Guardiola's team's blood. But so far today, they've not looked like a Pep Guardiola team. They haven't looked like a team that's come and dominated and penned the team in and hung them on their final nerve. Man United have really give City a taste of their own medicine. Constantly threatening, constantly posing questions. That's a ball by Fernandes. They're in again here. Ahmad dragged it wide. Could have been two. And I think he was onside anyway there, Ahmad. See it again. Did he hold his run? He might have been just off. Just. Maybe just, but nonetheless it was dragged wide. And every time they come forward, United, they look like they're going to find a good chance at Donnarumma's goal. And quite honestly, this has been one enjoyable derby game so far. I'd have to say, as a neutral, I have more than enjoyed this. This has been thrilling. And there's still 22 minutes, so there's still a quarter of the game to go. We're nowhere near finished yet, but quite enjoyable. What will City do to respond, though? This is what Pep Guardiola is now on the bench. He's taking a seat. And he's trying to scheme up a way to get back into this game. He tried it with a double substitution at half-time with O'Reilly and Cherky. They've had very little impact so far. Cherky, not seen much of him in attacking third positions. And O'Reilly's already got himself booked. He got himself booked within 3 minutes of coming on. So they've not been really impact subs as Pep Guardiola would have wanted. But I don't think it's a player thing right now, because Phil Foden was quiet in the first half, as is Cherky in the second. I think it's just positional. Man United have done so well defensively out of possession in play that they've just looked without any real clear-cut opportunities at times, City, in the area. And that's where Cherky and Haaland and Doku and Semenyo all come alive. Here's a free kick, though. Chance to get it into the areas. Headed away at the front post. Behind for the corner by Dalot. Just over 20 minutes to go. Man United 1, Man City 0. And Ryan Cherky took the free kick. Will take the corner. Whipped in this time. Over the head of everyone as Mbeumo has to scramble it away. And I think there was a foul anyway. Free kick to Man United. We see it. The goal comes from a City set piece And on the breakaway, it's a touch from Mbeumo to send them into a great position, have that overload, and then a 4-on-3. Fernandes with the most sumptuous through ball, and Mbeumo with the most sumptuous guided effort across into the back of the net that sends Old Trafford into eruption like a dormant volcano. They've been waiting desperately for that moment, and they have exploded into relief. And Brandon Mbeumo, back from the AFCON, back in the goals, making an impact as he's replaced by Matej Cunha. Straight swap, I'm sure. And that's exactly what City want to see at this time. More attacking fresh legs for Man United. Fernandes trying to flick it in behind, but well stopped by Rodri. Cherki holding off the runs, and nicely played by Silva, finding Semenyo central. Antoine Semenyo trying to dribble through to create a chance, was well cut off in the end by Harry Maguire. Although Dorgu waited too long, given away to Lewis. Lewis's ball across, drops to Bernardo Silva. Couldn't quite get the shot off, blocked. Doku challenging, losing out to Dalot. And Dalot finding Matej Cunha for his first involvement. Casemiro, a little bit sloppy towards Fernandes, and albeit O'Reilly's interception goes out of play for a United throw. Well, the two Peps, Guardiola and Linders, trying to figure out a way for City to get back into this game. And the blue side of Manchester is a bit stum at the minute. They're a little bit reserved. Their team really haven't risen to the occasion here, you got to say. But they're still very much in the battle if they can hang on in there and maybe create one chance, as Casemiro's gone down, holding his face, which the referee has to stop to make sure that he's okay. I think he felt there was a bit of blood there, Casemiro. I don't think there is, but he was slightly caught maybe by Haaland. Accidentally, but he's up and okay, Casemiro. Well, a reminder for you that we do have more Premier League football tomorrow. Bottom of the league, Wolves take on Newcastle at Molineux before we watch Aston Villa host Everton at 4:30. A double header of Premier League action for you tomorrow afternoon. And if they live up to anything like this game has, they will be certainly as entertaining as these have been. This one has been today so far. But City, you got to say, really the whole way throughout the game, have not been able to put Man United on the back foot. I mean, not once in this game so far in 73 minutes have I seen United sitting right on the edge of their box defending for their lives. Not once. Not once. And another thing is Manchester City from set pieces. We know there's nobody better than Arsenal, but Man City win corners to continue applying pressure on you. It's what they've done for so long. It's the best way to kind of sustain pressure. Keep winning corners. Keep putting balls into the box. Keep putting them into positions where they have to defend for their lives. And City haven't done that enough today. You know, the set-piece delivery's been poor, and I think it's just not put any nerves on Man United. They've been able to grow into the game. They've been able to garner confidence. And they haven't looked back, Man United. And I think in this game, we talk in football a lot about confidence in players, but it just shows you that if you become confident, a team is confident in their play in a game, they can find a way past anyone and look completely different to when maybe they're a little bit void of confidence. It's like a completely different look. And again, just see it here. City had the ball. A bit of aggressiveness from Dorgu. Wins the ball back. See it here. Just wins the ball back. More fight in it than Rico Lewis. Wins it back. And then he tries to break away. Rico Lewis drags him back and gives away a free kick. And gets a yellow card for it. I mean, it's really minuscule differences, but they make a massive difference in the end to the outcome of a game. Rico Lewis, the latest Man City player to be booked today. He is the third City player to enter the referee's book after Rodri and Nico O'Reilly. And with 15 minutes to go, City are hanging on the hopes of their star striker to create one chance, to get one chance and to take it for them. That's what it seems like at the minute. Not even he can get his way into this game at all. Here's Matej Cunha down the right. Whips a ball in, it's deep. Dorgu! 2-0! That is surely going to set the sail on Manchester City here at Old Trafford. Patrick Dorgu had a big chance saved in the first half. Well, he's just doubled Manchester United's lead. And this is going to be the Red Devils putting Manchester City to the sword. Maybe to the pitchfork. And Derby Day delight for Manchester United. But dreary Derby Day for Manchester City. Shaking the head from Rodri. Pep Guardiola folds his arms, and as they were scheming up a comeback opportunity, Manchester United had other plans. They weren't letting Manchester City back into this. Not by any stretch. Man United 2, Manchester City 0. This is reflective of the performance that United have put in today. Again, we see it here. It looks a pretty simple situation. Ball round the corner. Cunha. And it's just a simple ball across the area. It's not anything ingenious. It's a simple ball across, and it's just the sheer desire to get to the ball. Again, the City players all watch the ball as it comes across their box. No one wants to put a challenge in. And Lewis, I said it 2 minutes ago. Dorgu won the ball back because he wanted to win the ball more than Rico Lewis. And on that occasion, it's exactly the same thing. Dorgu wanted it more. Lewis waited. Dorgu was proactive. And he gets the rewards. And it's approval from Sir Alex up in the stands, applauding his team. And a team that looks much more like the Man United of old, albeit it's only one game and only one set of performances. But my goodness, this has been transformative for Manchester United. A completely different looking team. And Manchester City are losing further grip in the title race. That's the bigger picture. Arsenal will be gleaming with delight right now. Those Arsenal fans will be wearing the red of Man United for now, cheering them on to the finish line, and then put the Arsenal red on later, and hoping they can extend the gap to 9 points if they win later, Arsenal, and City lose today, which looks very likely now. That will be one hell of a momentum swing in a title race. 6 becomes 9, when it really could have become 3 if it swung the other way. But that is the swings and roundabouts of title races and Premier League football. And again, City can have no arguments. Manchester United have been, to a man, exceptional today. Absolutely exceptional. And in the second half, they're getting their just rewards for it. They've outfought them, outworked them, outmuscled them, outthought them, outbattled them, whatever you want to say. Man United have won every single category. I mean, they're sweeping it up like the Oscars. I mean, they're loving this. And this crowd are absolutely... I mean, I'm sure they're in awe of what they're seeing because they've not seen this in such a long time. The sheer energy in this game from United is quite remarkable, and I think Casemiro feeling the edges of that intensity that they've been playing on. And we're going to see some substitutions. A triple sub from City. Silva, Doku, Haaland all off. Reinders, Aït-Nouri and Mukasa all on. And in a game that I think Pep Guardiola knows is over. So he's going to bring some fresh legs on. Maybe rest some players. And as Haaland leaves the pitch, United fans are waving goodbye to the Norwegian. He's barely said hello today, to be honest. So that triple change for Manchester City. It's going to see the introduction of Divine Mukasa, the 18-year-old centre forward. Well, forward anyway. He's coming on. And that's all 5 subs for City used now. And now Casemiro, who had gone down with a little bit of cramp, he's going to be replaced by Manuel Ugarte. What a performance from Casemiro today. Looked back to his Real Madrid best, you got to say. He looked impenetrable in that midfield. Some of his passes, some of his challenges, it's the Casemiro we've known of old. A sensational performance, and Manuel Ugarte on in his place. Less than 10 to go. City with a free kick here. Cherki's delivery, it's deep. Headed on by Ake, away by Ugarte. The flag was up anyway. Free kick to Man United. Well, can you say they've not deserved it? No. The simple answer, no. United have more than deserved this. City today have been second best. And the scoreline reflects it. The performance has been well below the levels of a Pep Guardiola team. And you got to say it's a worrying look at the league table for Manchester City. When it comes to the title race, it is seemingly a pretty nice looking league table for Arsenal at the minute. It stays as it is. And United come away with the 3 points here. It will mean that Manchester City could be 9 points adrift of the league leaders come the end of the evening, and might not even be second come the end of the weekend if Aston Villa get anything out of Everton at home tomorrow. Remember, City and Villa are on level points coming into this weekend, and a loss for City and any points for Villa would push them up to second. For Man United, they would jump above Liverpool up into fourth with a win. That's another little nice taste to this game. Not only beating City, but going above Liverpool, at least for a while, unless Liverpool fail to beat Burnley at home. Liverpool win that game, they'll go 3 points above United again, but albeit as it stands right now, United will be above the Liverpool on goal difference. Kobbie Mainoo charging into the area. Just couldn't keep the run going. In the end, it's recovered by Donnarumma. Well, 7 minutes to go. Well, City have got nothing to really lose here. They should just go all out for it, because you never know. But in the way that United have performed today, I mean, take a bow, I have to say. They've been quite fantastic. And, you know, coming into this one, all the idea was, if Michael Carrick just gets something, if he can scrape something out of the game, if they can get anything out of this, it would be a good game. But it's a derby. Derby's form goes out the window. All of that just leaves. It's about who plays better in 90 minutes. And in this game, it's been United that have played by far the better in the 90 minutes. And rightfully working it. Here's a chance across. Cherki had no option out the other end, and it's gone for a goal kick off Ait Nouri. Probably sums up Manchester City's day, really. See it here, Semenyo, nice ball. Flicked on by Cherki, rounders across, and across the 6-yard box, no one in the middle. And Ait Nouri couldn't keep it in play, it went for a goal kick. Well, I think that's what City have struggled with all afternoon. Those line-breaking passes, those runs in behind United. They've struggled massively with that today. Here's Cunha charging through City defenders for fun here. Cunha down the left as he's held off well by Kushanov, who, I have to say, if there's one City player that deserves a little bit of praise today, I think it's Abdulkadir Kushanov, because without him, this game could have been out of sight by half-time. I think he's had a good performance today. and Donnarumma, to be fair. Those two have really fought for the cause, but I'd say the rest of the City players just haven't been at their level, haven't been at the heights that they need to be in this derby game. And we have a free kick here with 5 minutes of normal time to go. Bruno Fernandes making sure Donnarumma takes it from the right spot. The referee says hurry up and play on. Having none of it. Donnarumma pumps it long. One first header, one by United head. Dorgu in a foot race. Kushanov gets there ahead of him. And the flag was up anyway against Dorgu. Free kick to City. Well, no 8th win at Old Trafford for Pep Guardiola. No 10th win at Old Trafford for Manchester City. None of those stats coming true today. Both teams were on a drawing run. 3 draws apiece in their last 3 league games for both teams. But that looks to be breaking the duck today. Win for United looks likely. Defeat for City looks likely. So here comes City down the left. They're giving it one last fight if they can. Nowhere to go though. As it's been all day. Cherky trying to break the lines. Nice little layoff in the shot. It's over the bar by Rico Lewis. Well, there was a bit of a worrying stat when United took the lead. There was a stat that was put up on the screen. I didn't want to mention it, but there's only 2 teams in the Premier League this season, or sorry, 3 teams that have dropped more points from winning positions than United this season. Bournemouth, West Ham and Chelsea. 16 for Bournemouth, 15 for Chelsea and West Ham. United have dropped 14 points from winning positions this season. But it doesn't look like they're going to be dropping any points from an advantage here today. Brian Mbeumo and Patrick Dorgu, the two that have found the net that give Manchester United a 2-goal lead in the Manchester derby. It'll be a first home derby win since a 2-1 victory in January of 2023, when Jack Grealish scored the opener. Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford carved up a comeback for United in that game. It's their first win and a clean sheet at home against City since a 2-0 victory, where Anthony Martial and Scott McTominay scored 2 goals in a 2-0 win in March of 2020. So almost 6 years since United had a home win and a clean sheet against Manchester City. Now remember, the game's not over, so that could still change, but it's also been 3 years since they had a home victory in the derby against City. January 2023. Right, Nuri chops onto his right foot from the outside, linking it up with Cherky. Poked towards Reinders. On the edge of the area on the left side. Lots of red shirts in there, lots of blue as well now though. Reinders, can he find the right one? Nuri well challenged by Dallo, and Maguire tried to clear it, bounced back into his own box. Reinders with the ball in. Up and away by Shaw. Fed back in by Kushanov, and a diving header away from United as they're on the breakaway. Referee says play on. Fernandes looking for the run of Ahmad. Ahmad's in a foot race with Ake. Takes it past Ake. Ahmad is in. 1-on-1 with Donnarumma. Hit the post. Big opportunity to make it 3-0. And Ahmad was denied by the woodwork. After all the hard work, he hit the woodwork. Unlucky, but again, just outfought City again to get to the ball. It's that simple. Bernardo Silva. Ryan Cherky, apologies. I always get those two mixed up from range. Again, clearance away, and Dorgu's got a run on here. He's got Ahmad on his own on that far side, but he's just going to be sensible with it and just keep the possession. It's Fernandes Goes for the switch ball. Ahmad heads it back down to Cunha. I mean, 4 United players there and about 7 or 8 City players, and they still all get to the ball first as tired legs from Fernandes couldn't keep that one in. 90 minutes gone, 5 added minutes at the end of this Manchester derby. See it again for Ahmad. He just gets to the ball first ahead of Ake, who steps away from it the last second and fends him off really, really well. And gets the strike off. Don't know if Donnarumma gets a touch to this. And it just crashes off the right post, but my goodness me. As Man United making more changes. Aidan Heavens coming on to replace Luke Shaw. Mason Mount's also coming on. And he's going to replace captain Bruno Fernandes. So a double substitution. Heaven and Mount on. Fernandes and Shaw off. Quite incredible today. Lewis. Rodri trying to switch ball. Nicely intercepted. And Ahmad's got the ball. It's a 3v3 here. Ahmad's rolled it in behind Cunha as he stayed onside. The flag stayed down. Cunha across. Mount! First touch! And he makes it 3. That's one hell of a first touch for Mason Mount. Manchester United 3. Manchester City 0. And Manchester United are flying high in this Manchester derby. One further blow. And Manchester City are faltering beyond belief at Old Trafford. What has been the theatre of nightmares for Man United over recent seasons is returning to the theatre of dreams. Sir Alex Ferguson saw it so many times before. Well, Michael Carrick has started so excellently. He's completely outdone Pep Guardiola's Manchester City today. Again, it's aggression. Just win the ball back well. It's a sloppy ball by Rodri, but Ahmad makes the right pass, plays the right ball, times it well to Cunha. Held his run just enough, I think. Rolled it across. Mount a little bit behind him, but he did well. Adjusting at the last second and rolled it into the back of an empty Manchester City net. And as I said, what a first touch for Mason Mount that is. Man United 3, Manchester City 0. Roles reversed from the reverse fixture. Look at Casemiro. That's what it means. And Michael Carrick making himself a real hero once again. Although they are checking for a possible offside on Cunha. It looked like he just held his run, but look at that. Erling Haaland. And the City bench, all glum faces. A day to forget for them. Albeit, this might be reprieved a little bit. They are still checking this VAR. Craig Pawson and Adrian Holmes. This will only be a little bit of a reprimand for Manchester City if it does get disallowed, but Pep Guardiola looks as worried as ever. This is a worrying day for Manchester City. And the decision is going to be offside, no goal, I believe it is. So it won't count and it's back to 2. That's the third time today Man United have put the ball in the back of the net and it's been ruled out for offside. So it just shows you how fine the margins are, where they could have been even 5-0 up if all of those chances had accounted. But 2 it is. And with seconds now remaining, albeit we'll have a few more minutes, another minute or probably so with the VAR check and the goal. City pumping it up for one last hope, but maybe a reprieve, maybe one last gasp opportunity to deny Man United a clean sheet. I don't really see them coming back here, although you never know. Dorgu trying to get it away. It's won by Rodri in the area. Rico Lewis gets to it wide. Finds Cherky, who tussling to keep the ball. Cherky, well blocked by Heaven and then, or Dorgu, and then out by Heaven behind for a corner. 5 minutes are up. It's up to the referee now with the goal being scored in added time and, of course, the VAR check. Corner to Manchester City. Right-footed delivery. Up and away at the near post, and Ahmad clears it. And Cunha couldn't keep it in. Throw into Manchester City. It's just about getting to the finish line for United now. And a much more jubilant crowd who were booing at the end of the game a few weeks ago. And now they're cheering and jubilant as ever before. How quickly football can change in just a few days' time. That is the way the football world goes. As Dorgu's on the breakaways down the right this time, and he's looking for the run of Ahmad, who just stepped away from it at the last second, didn't know it was coming, and City able to retrieve. But now into the 7th minute of added time. The whistle will come any second, I'm sure, but fans want it now. They want to cheer one last moment for their team. And there it is, the final whistle. A win and a clean sheet in a Manchester derby for Manchester United, as rare as they come. But no one can say they didn't deserve it. They have been, to a man, quite excellent today. Ruben Amorim out the door, Michael Carrick in the door, and a pretty contrasting result. City beat them 3-0 in September, but on the turn of 2026, Manchester United turn it around completely. 2 goals in the second half. It could have been 3, it could have been 4, it could have even been 5. The many times they found the net United. 3 of them were called for offside, but 2 of them did stand, and 2 very good goals at that. Brian Mbeumo with the first, sweeping past Donnarumma into the far corner for the first goal, and quickly followed up by Patrick Dorgu to double the lead just 11 minutes later when he fired in past Donnarumma to double. Mount thought he made it 3. Fernandes and Ahmad in the first half thought they'd scored as well. But on the day, this was a very different looking Man United team. A team that outfought, outworked, outthought Manchester City. And on the day, it's not about who's on the pitch, it's about what they did. Every player in red and black today fought for the cause, fought for the 3 points. And fought is the right word, because every single challenge, every single tackle, they were there. City were never given a moment to breathe. Despite dominating possession, this is what can happen when you control the ball and do nothing with it. And the team that you dominate supposedly with possession makes you pay at the other end on the counter. Man United pulled off a perfect display on Derby Day at Old Trafford. Final score, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. And what a way to start off match day 22 in the Premier League. Man United winning the derby by 2 goals to 0 and moves them back up into the top 4. A real chance that they've had multiple times over the last 2 months. They hadn't taken them before. Well, they've grasped it with both hands and they move up to 4th and a view of Champions League football. There's still, of course, 16 games to go in the season, but they're moving in the right direction, slowly but surely. And Manchester, at least for today, at least until the next time they meet, Manchester is shining red once again. And as I say, what a start to the weekend. Of course, 5 3 o'clock kickoffs. The late game sees Arsenal with a chance to go 9 points clear at the top of the table now, with City losing. It is a 6-point gap before Arsenal play. And they will head to the City ground later, the Gunners, knowing their job is to win at whatever cost to really take firm grip of this title race and charge into a 9-point lead. Then tomorrow, we're back for a double header of Premier League action as Wolves host Newcastle, followed by Aston Villa hosting Everton. And an Aston Villa team that if they get anything out of that game, as long as they avoid defeat tomorrow, they will be second come the weekend's conclusion, which is quite remarkable. And then the round off the weekend on Monday evening, Brighton take on Bournemouth in a battle of the South Coasts. As I was saying, Wolves v Newcastle tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll be on air around 10 minutes. We'll be live for that one before kick-off. But what a derby. It was for a long while a 0-0 derby. And it was gripping from minute 1 to the end. In the end, Brian Mbomo and Patrick Dorgu with the magic touches to deliver delight for Manchester United on Derby Day. Bye-bye.